Hey everybody, it's Films Against Humanity. Thanks for joining us. This is Chase,
Kendall,
Nick,
and Chris.
And we just watched Skull, A Night of Terror, also known as Don't Turn Out the Lights or A Night of Retribution from 1987.
Look, if we're gonna make it through this thing, we're gonna make it together, right? Right?
The real reason we watched this movie is for the VHS cover.
That's right, because it was part of Chase's initial giant batch of VHS that he got that helped spawn our whole vidcast. And it was the first one we fell in love with. There's a one-eyed Telly Savalas with a house on fire in the background and boobs. And then it says, tonight he goes over the edge. There's a line, when you mess with a man's family, you're messing with one of the most powerful forces known, revenge. And it just sold us on it. And we haven't watched it, and we've just been putting it off, waiting for the perfect time. And apparently that was Sunday afternoon right now.
Yes.
And so we did it.
Yay.
And don't forget the top of Skull on the front with the shovel man shooting an arrow.
See, you don't
We'll
know
get
what
to
that
it.
is when you look on the VHS box, but when you watch the movie, then it all makes
It
sense.
all comes together.
Oh, it does.
To say that it didn't live up to our expectations, well, it didn't. But that doesn't mean we won't recommend it in the end.
I'd
It
say
just
it-
wasn't
yeah,
what
it-
the box sold it as.
It exceeded and fell short of my expectations.
Yes.
Exactly.
So strange.
Well, let's start with it.
Let's
Starts out
get
pretty
into
cool,
it, yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
we got an opening shot of Skull himself sitting alone in his cell, literally pulling the wings off a fly, just to show you how
laughing.
evil he is.
Sadistic bastard.
The least evil thing you could think of.
Right. He's an evil 12-year-old. This
Yeah.
little, but they had to put him alone because
Don't be near him when the lights go out.
Yeah, because
Oh, why?
in the last part where you see him, the lights go out, and then all of a sudden you just hear screaming. He just has a
He
legitimate
just gets
phobia.
really, scared of the dark.
So then right after that scene, it cuts to the opening credits. And it's a couple naked people in bed.
Yeah.
Sweaty as shit.
It's really hot where they're at.
And
Canada.
the
In
woman,
Canada.
he's having a nightmare and she's kind of getting off on his nightmare.
He's having like a PTSD flashback
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
incident when he and his partner bungled some sort of like hostage situation where a junkie on the street, like a standard 80s New York
Right,
City
yeah.
criminal,
Yeah.
has a woman hostage.
It looks like a prostitute hostage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be. Long story short, the main character accidentally shot the hostage.
it all goes south.
Everybody's dead except him, and he's traumatized
Oh,
and
yeah,
doesn't
his
want to use
partner
guns
gets
anymore.
shot.
Did that not using guns thing really come back? I felt like he used some guns.
He
He
did
totally
use
used
guns.
guns.
Okay, but he
He
wasn't
tried
a
his
fan,
darndest
I guess.
not
He
to, though.
did try to not
Yeah.
use guns.
Okay, I mean, that's realistic.
But anyway, so this bumbled complete fuck up turns him into like a quivering mass of a non-cop, and he gets reassigned to Nowheresville in North Carolina. He says-
Before we go too far, that opening scene with the rain
Yeah.
was
Oh,
just so
great.
crazy.
Just,
Oh,
it's
it
like
just
rain tower
happened.
turn on.
Yeah, yeah. It's
you
like-
literally see it come in from one side of the
yeah,
screen.
and just
pretty good.
hit them with the rain.
yeah. Well, that's what it looked like.
So there's some
Yeah.
bad rain. He's traumatized, and he transplants his family to maybe North Carolina.
yeah.
Durham County.
His kid is the opening scene.
Oh,
walking
yeah.
around
yeah.
with the
Oh,
Oh,
gun.
walking with an unloaded
There's-
gun. That was pretty fucked up.
Well, yeah, he took a huge, like, 357 and woke his baby sister up by pulling the trigger and being like, I wasn't loaded.
Didn't they have like a fake
And
like
then-
gunshot
And there was
sound?
a fake out, yeah.
And I was like, oh god, you really like shot her. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be this kind of movie?
Yeah, because there is a gunshot.
Dead. Mom, Gideon's killing me again.
Well, the two of you get down here right now.
And
Just
then
a
it's
little
like,
boy
oh, okay.
playing with guns and
Yeah.
getting like a
Getting a
a
scolding.
moderate scolding
Yeah.
from his mom. Just kind of
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
again, you're shooting your sister. Come
Yeah.
on.
I just like the idea that the little brother runs around with pointing guns at his sister, going, "Ha ha, you're dead now. Ha ha, you're dead now."
And she
And they're
locks
like,
up-
"Come on,
You thought
again."
that would have really come back. Like, I thought the kid was going to do something.
Well, considering that Robert Bergman did everything for this movie, some
Yeah.
things just fell through the cracks when you're writing, producing, directing, screenplay,
yeah.
running boom mics.
He was the director of photography too.
Okay, so it's his day off, and then his partner comes and is like, "No, it's not. Get
Yeah.
dressed. We're going." And
The partner comes with
his girlfriend, wife.
His wife,
Is
his
his
wife.
wife
well,
on
his
the box?
his 17-year-old companion,
She looks like
who
she's
may be
in high
his
school.
wife, girlfriend, or sister.
True. She does look like she's in high school.
She looks way too young to be with like this cop guy who's way older than her.
But she
But
shows
anyway,
up.
yeah, they both show up, and then like the cops talking to this guy's wife in the house, and then this 17-year-old chick walks over to the barn where you know the husband.
Yeah.
And they start making out,
Whoa.
and she doesn't care for it. at
He
the
proceeds
beginning.
to rip her clothes
Yeah.
off and throw her down in the hay.
No, and the whole time I was like, oh, I can't believe you guys were just having sex on this straw. Just,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so
just
itchy
dry
and just,
straw.
ugh. Like, I couldn't get over it.
The setup for this cop and his wife's disillusion of their marriage is actually pretty
Yeah.
well set. And then like the affair, but everyone's in the same room awkwardly together
They all
at
kind
times.
of know about it.
The mom was
Yeah,
doing
but they're
some
not
pretty good acting.
calling it out.
yeah.
Like when
'cause
she's
of
in
the
the
kids
same
and
room as
whatnot.
the younger woman who
It's
she knows is
weird.
banging.
All the characters are really well, like, they're developed.
And
Yeah.
then we get to Skull.
I know, and then he's just one big fuck up after another. God, this guy.
He is a goof.
He is a
So,
goofball.
so they're transporting these prisoners who were escaped prisoners
Whatever that means.
and
Killed,
had
like,
killed
seven
seven people.
Yeah.
So they get the two local deputies or something to
The
transport
disgraced
them.
New York cop who's fixing up his house on his off day and his moron friend
They
who
just-
bangs
yep.
17-year-olds.
So they transport them in like a UPS car. No detail, no people around them.
Yeah, they're doing a prison transfer on the back roads of
Yeah.
North Carolina alone with
No
no
other cop
backup
cars.
or escorts or
Well,
anything.
His buddy cop is playing the harmonica the whole time for some reason.
And a pretty woman's car's broken down. So of course, as a prison transport truck, you're gonna stop and help
Just
out.
help out,
Yeah.
fix her transmission, see what's going on, maybe get laid because that's
Yeah.
that's kind of the feel of the scene that this.
Oh,
It felt
yeah,
like the setup for a
he's,
porno.
He's eye fucking her the entire time.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was a trap.
Skull's girlfriend got this chick, used her car as bait. She helps break
Yeah.
Skull and the rest of the crew
Yeah.
out.
So there's Skull, the baby-faced kind of Marlon Brando-looking guy with one eye, which we
Right.
saw in one shot, and then he never took his eye patch off again.
Yeah.
He's got two henchmen, and he's got one kind of Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a villainous woman. The cops
Oh,
bundle
yeah.
everything. She busts him out of the paddy wagon.
Well, you gonna do it?
They hop in the car with the pretty woman, and they're away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
take
In
off.
the same, like, tiny 3 square miles of this
Right.
county
Oh, yeah.
that everything takes place in, apparently.
And then when they're driving away, they do a perfect shot and hit the radio so they can't call for backup or anything.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
right.
that was a great
Yeah,
shot.
and then they get in the UPS truck and then take off after them, which there's no way they're going to catch up with them because it is a UPS truck.
And they
there's no
promptly
way.
take the wrong road and get stuck in some mud.
Yeah, they get
Mud.
stuck in some mud. They're so stupid.
And this is, I guess,
It was a horrible chase because like the car
I
is
wouldn't call it
No
a chase.
chase.
yeah, it's not really a chase.
Yeah, just a driving scene.
just a meandering Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
that happens to involve a prison transport vehicle. Because
Yes.
now it's a
This is-
hostage movie.
yeah, it's a
with
home
bad
invasion
guy.
movie.
Home invasion
Well,
movie.
The coincidence that Skull and his gang drive right past the cop's house.
Where you gonna find a car around here?
Bingo!
And it happens to be his family, and
Yeah. Well, no, I want to mention though the really crazy part is whenever they abandon the car that they were driving stick the blonde girl in it with a piece of dynamite. They shoot the car and it explodes.
Yes.
Killing her.
Unnecessary.
I mean, I don't know. I guess they didn't want witnesses or something.
But it was more.
they-
I just thought that it was more that it took so long. Like they don't like tie her to the car or anything.
Yeah.
They
No,
just get
no.
out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're like, "You stay here."
It's like, okay,
I
bye.
know, and she just fucking
And
sits
then,
there.
Right, and they put the dynamite in the front window, walk 50, 75 yards, Skull turns around.
No, really, where is my mind?
The Night of Terror, we found out, isn't so much about Skull's crew doing a home invasion and torturing these people. It's more about that he is terrified of the night.
Yeah.
He is petrified of darkness of any kind. And there's a scene where he's trying to go down to get the wife, but in the basement, but he can't because it looks dark, even though it's completely lit.
Plenty of windows
so
down
bright.
there.
It is
Yeah.
so
3
bright.
o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just bright as all day. And he just can't. He can't do it. He's just shrieking and crying.
What was this movie about?
It's basically like a comic book origin story of Shovel Face or whatever his
Yeah,
name
let's get
would
to
be.
Shovel Face.
So,
Yeah.
so
The greatest of Canadian comic book
Well,
characters.
there's the home
Quickly,
invasion,
yeah.
which is exactly what you'd expect.
And then
They
they kill
tie everybody up. A few people die.
they kill the his partner and his partner's wife.
Right.
17-year-old
just
bride.
shoot them into them because they're like hugging each other in the open when they see each other.
Yeah, which
even
they
though they're being
really
shot
shouldn't have
at, they
done
could
that.
have easily taken cover and then hugged.
But then they wouldn't have
But
gotten
they
shot.
but then they
There's
wouldn't have
gotta
got
be
shot.
45 total minutes
So-
in this movie of
Yeah.
shooting out of the windows of the
yeah,
farmhouse and people outside kind of running around.
Yeah,
yeah.
running in a
Running
straight
here,
line.
Running in
there.
straight
Not even
lines.
stealthily. They're just like flailing
Yeah.
about in
In
a
front of
straight line.
windows.
Yeah. Well, first that one guy who never can fucking button his shirt ever, not once,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
part of his character, I guess.
Just a fella who doesn't
Right.
button up his shirt.
And Skull forces him to go outside and shoot this main character guy because he's the last one, and once they get rid of him, then that's it. And so he comes out and he's like shooting everywhere, and he thinks that he kills him, but he doesn't. And there are balloons in this barn for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
he uses a balloon.
He uses a balloon. He
To
takes,
breathe
Yeah,
underwater.
to breathe underwater to make the guy think that he shot him and killed him.
I don't know if
Which
that
was
works.
really weird.
So he faked his death, and they think there's no one left.
Yeah.
And
And
he
now
then
Skull,
decides.
in like the weirdest way, is kind of stepping into the main character's father position because this is my house now. You're my wife. These
Yeah,
are my
my
kids.
kids.
I don't give a shit about the son though. I want this daughter. Like, and he shows her like his knife and like, oh, this is how you do it, and like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
don't
like-
you like how that feels in your hand? And it's really weird.
It's like every scene they kind of rewrote what they wanted Skull to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's very cold-blooded killer. Sometimes he's like this animal man who's like all rage, and then the darkness thing, and so, yeah.
But all the
character's
times
so
he's
What his-
he's a 1930s gangster.
Yeah,
At least his
while
vernacular.
while saying copper
yeah,
constantly.
he plays a lot
Nobody
of kind
says
of like,
copper.
Which
what
I
hap-
loved.
What'll
He hated
happen
that
if
much.
I do this, copper?
What does this look like to you, Copper? It looks like curtains to me, Copper.
So our
Um,
cop is becoming a hero, and he's got to find
Yes.
a way
Yeah,
to take these
yeah.
guys
He has
out.
the
In a
Iron Man
weird-
montage.
In a horribly scored montage.
It really was
Very
horrible.
kind of relaxing Enya almost.
Yeah, it's like shovel.
The
rope.
cheapest Iron
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
he cuts holes in the shovel and puts it on his face.
2 eye holes and
Yeah.
wears it on his face as a mask.
Sure.
Wears a crude iron breastplate.
Yeah, breastplate, and then puts soot on himself as camouflage.
He sets
and-
himself
yeah.
up just to be darker in the night, I suppose.
Sure.
And he's got a grappling hook, and that's his kid, his rig.
And
Oh, and his bow and arrow.
and his bow and
Yep.
arrow.
Yeah.
so this
Which
is
he
like
didn't even have. Some
Yeah.
criminals dropped it off the porch, and he picked it up.
That he uses pretty
He
damn
uses
good.
it. Oh yeah, when
does some
that
amazing
one guy
shots.
goes down, he got him right in the face.
yeah. If he wouldn't have like
awesome.
picked up his gun in the middle of the movie, it would have made a lot more sense. Because like he can't kill them, he can't shoot when they're escaping from prison, you know. So they just get away because of that. But then he starts shooting at him later. and then he doesn't use his gun for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It makes sense if he was just totally against guns, if he was like a MacGyver character.
Mm-hmm.
The criminals love the guns.
Oh, yeah.
When they finally get
yeah.
the case, the girl in the gang finds the case and shows it to him and says, "It's Christmas, girls."
It's Christmas, girls.
And then opens it up. There's a great like maniacal laughter, just cackling.
Oh,
that
yeah.
goes on.
like
And
evil
Skull does,
villain.
yeah, as he's like loading his newfound toys, like just over and over again. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's Christmas.
So he just dispatches all the villains. He shoots one of them with an arrow. He blows one of them up in a car.
What I like though is
With
when
the
that
arrow on
one
fire.
And the girl,
when,
yeah.
her name is Ash, I believe.
Ash,
Yes.
right.
Whenever she accidentally she gets into like this little kind of fight with the mom, and then she trips and falls right on like a
pickaxe.
like a
Yeah,
pickaxe right through the chest. That was probably one of the. I was like really into that. I like that a lot.
She fell really hard.
She did.
This movie really needed a little more violence.
It needed more like bad guys, more cool death scenes. Either more good or bad guys so that you could kill them off.
You know?
There's only, 6 people die in this movie?
Yeah.
There should have been at least triple that. And that would have been a lot more fun.
A lot less, weird thing to say, but a lot less close-up shots of boobs.
Yeah.
Because
I
there's
know,
a
and
lot
they
of
weren't
those.
good boobs either. They were really weird looking boobs.
Just whoever they had.
Could have gone without
And
that.
then they get in a big
Strange
gasoline
movie.
fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
jeez. Let's get to the
That's a great,
Skip to the
great
head.
ending.
He just kind of busts through the back of the house that isn't finished, and then literally he like shinings his way through the kitchen wall, but very slowly.
Yeah.
And Skull just kind of watches
I
and says,
know.
"Oh, yes, it's a house. What do you care?"
Yeah.
And
was really
it's then a
weird
fight
line.
between a man with a torch and
Skull has a torch.
Shovel Face has a can of gas.
can of gas.
And they just lunge at each other. For
Yeah, he just
5
tries to throw the
minutes.
gasoline on the fire to light him up.
Unsuccessfully.
Getting gas.
And I guess-
all
For a really
over
long
He
the
does
kitchen.
light it on the giant box of dynamite that,
Yes.
that the Skull's crew had.
And yeah.
So then Skull about wins and pours gasoline all over him and himself, just deciding to take them both out at once. And then he lights on fire. Skull lights on fire.
And then
And Shovel Face
and they blow up.
Jumps out of the house right as it explodes.
Well,
and
no, like the part that I really like though is whenever like Skull gets caught on fire and he's holding on to the, shovel face and he's like, "Argh," and then
I
the
think-
fire travels down his arm and is about to get
'Cause
on
they both
Shovel
have
Face's
gas on
arm.
them.
Yeah.
And he
So
said,
he's like,
we'll
I'm gonna
both
like,
go to hell.
yeah, we're gonna both die.
This house is mine!
And then like Shovel Face
It was
like
it was about
escapes.
who loves this house more.
Yeah,
Very
like,
Skull.
strange.
Skull
Face,
did.
Very
like Skull
strange.
really loved this house, and he was gonna blow himself up in it. Yeah, and he
And-
lands on top of the dynamite, and the whole thing explodes.
And a pretty cool explosion.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really big.
There
Went
were
on
a
a long
lot
time.
of explosions.
And
And the movie's
that's the
over.
movie.
And that's it.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
walk off into the sunset with his family.
Walk off down the road,
all right.
his Shovel Face.
None of the movies we watch are like smart or good, but there's just something very kind of bland and vanilla about this movie.
one?
Again, it was it
Yeah.
was more competent than a lot in some
Mm-hmm.
ways, but it just didn't really make you feel or think anything good or bad.
There were a lot of like key elements that I took away from it that I really appreciated, but as a whole, not so
I guess
much.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
So well, let's
Shovel
just say, do you
Face.
guys
Yeah.
recommend this movie?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, like I said, key elements were really great, but as a whole, it was just not what I saw on the box.
Yeah.
Considering
It's a
the box.
totally different movie.
Considering the box, no.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it very much. Yeah, well, the thing about the box is that these scenes actually happen. There are some VHS
Yeah.
covers that like the stuff doesn't happen in at all, but I mean these are all probably from the movie itself.
That VHS case it sure looks great in front of us. I'd say if you see the VHS of Skull for $1, buy it. It's like not the biggest waste of your time, but I can't recommend it. It's just in like a dead zone. it's not really good, but it's not bad enough to be fun.
It's in the meh zone.
What do you think, Nick?
It's meh.
Yeah, it's very. It's not either. If you're gonna make a bad movie or a cheap movie, fucking go make it shit. Make it fun stuff. Otherwise, you're just making something that's not worth remembering, which Robert Bergman kind of did. But it was a big deal to us because it's been on the show for a long time, and we've been wanting to watch it.
I had fun watching this. I feel like we all had a good time.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And
we've watched stuff that was more painful to get
through.
Yeah,
sure.
it's 80 minutes. It's pretty short, but it's just not that
Yeah,
fun.
oh yeah, if we were any longer, then, oh god,
Yeah.
it probably would have been awful.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Films Against Humanity. Twitter, it's at Films Against. And www.filmsagainsthumanity.com. And we'll be back to you next week with another movie. And thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas, girls.
Merry Christmas, girl.
That one was rough.